So possibly he wouldn't want his power challenged if his older brother would have been heir to the throne. The Voltaire is saying that this man in the iron mask was locked up possibly by his brother. This is actually Louis XIV's older brother.
What kind of big baby would you have to be to get beat up by your younger brother? And put isn't that the other way around?
Yeah.
I mean,
but
maybe.
But why? I mean,
what made his bigger brother such a little?
Go ahead, punk.
Yeah, thank you.
I don't know.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Mysterious Pals Show. My name is Chris, and I'm here to say that my buddy Jordan is here to stay with me for the next hour or two, however long this episode will be.
You could have said, "We're
going to hang out.
Stay mysterious."
We're going to hang out in a tree. So let's go ahead and see what we got on the plate today.
All right.
Well, first off, Jordan, it's January. This episode's going up in the middle of January. Last episode was when we talked about the Hinterkaifeck murders.
Yeah.
That sucked.
Yeah.
But today I'm thinking...
No, the episode was good, I think.
I mean, it sucked. The situational thing.
Terrible
sucked.
situation.
Yeah. I one of our most recent episodes, one of the recent episodes that I was watching, we talked about cereal.
Yeah.
Yeah. What kind of cereal you eat this week?
Nothing crazy, man. Just some cornflakes. Cornflakes, yeah.
Just cornflakes?
Just cornflakes.
With the rooster on the box?
Yeah.
Man, that's gross.
They're good.
Cardboard in a box.
Nah, they're not. It's not that bad.
Would you put any sugar on there?
No.
Hey.
I don't know.
I always put some. I put some sugar on. I like regular Cheerios
Yeah.
with some sugar. Just like a big boy.
Wait, is there regular Cheerios and Honey Nut Cheerios?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they have sugar Cheerios. They have there's a bunch of
sugar
them.
Cheerios.
They have banana or something Cheerios now.
know.
They have a lot of weird stuff out there.
I like Honey Nut Cheerios. Those are good.
They're good. Yeah, they're good.
Yeah.
They are good, but I get like a weird aftertaste.
I had a hard time eating Cheerios for the longest time because of
Get stuck on your windpipe.
Because you almost died. No, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. There's that scene where Rick Moranis is eating the bowl of cereal and the kids are in there in the bowl and they're like in like one of the little like Cheerios.
Yeah.
It used to creep me out.
So would you look every time you took a bite and inspect it?
Is there,
so your mom's
is there a small child in here?
Your mom's just like, dude, hurry up. We have to go to school.
Yeah.
Let's go. Stop. That's why we're not eating Cheerios anymore.
Yeah.
I had some, what I have this week, we had some Frosted Flakes.
I like Frosted Flakes
They're
a lot,
good.
man.
Yeah.
They're good.
They're good. They're better than Corn Flakes.
Of course, yeah. Of course they're better than corn
And why are you eating Corn Flakes?
Because I'm trying, like somewhat healthy start to the day. There's a thing though, when, we talked about cereal last time, Count Chocolate was out, like I could eat like bowls and bowls of that.
Well, we talked about only one box.
Yeah. But I try to just like keep that to like that one time a year where I eat like terrible cereal.
And the rest of the year you eat Corn Flakes?
And some yogurt,
Barfs.
I can't do regular
Barfs
flavored
with
yogurt.
milk.
Just like plain yogurt I can't do. It has to be like some kind of flavored.
I have to eat dairy-free yogurt.
Well, yeah.
And it's gross.
I bet.
There's no good dairy-free yogurt.
Yeah, there's no good dairy free anything.
Oh, that's not true. There's lots of good dairy-free stuff.
One of the saddest things ever when we were in college and you got pizza without cheese. It was the saddest looking thing. Because I'm just eating like a hoagie and like my own pizza and you're just like eating your sauce bread.
It's good because you don't get filled up on the cheese. You can eat like an entire one. It's just bread. It's just bread and sauce and some veggies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is not by choice.
I know.
I'm not like...
Do it, you can.
Yeah, but for those who don't know, I became unable to digest dairy.
I became a
dairy-free person when I was like 19. So like I was able to enjoy all that stuff.
Yeah.
No, not by choice. By you better do this or oh boy. You know what you said about the Rick Moranis and I had a problem with. Did you ever see Arachnophobia, that movie?
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, there's some scenes in there that like to this day I still check certain areas where they were like crawling up.
That came out when we were pretty young, man. So that stuck with me.
I don't know why I saw so many terrible. I gotta talk to my parents about that. Because like,
why are we allowed to watch?
Why was I watching these things? I don't get it.
Was John Candy in that? Was he the exterminator?
I was too young to even know who the hell John Candy was.
I know Jeff Daniels was like the dad in it.
Is that the guy from Dumb and Dumber?
Yeah. Right? Yeah. I think
figured.
yeah. Jeff Daniels, I think he's in that. He's like the dad, but then like exterminator comes.
I
Yeah,
have
think
no
it's John
clue.
Candy.
Like were the spiders just killing people?
Yeah.
Like it was like birds but spiders?
Yeah, but I think they're
Like the Birds movie.
yeah, I don't think they were like radioactive or like, like
Yeah, they couldn't make a cool
alien spiders or anything like that. I think they're just like
normal ass spiders.
there was that one big massive like
You've
spider
seen-
that was making all of them. Like
Really?
it was just like
I can't remember. I was so young that I have
think
no recollection. And it probably was like one of those passing things. Like I remember I used to like walk past the TV and be like, I shouldn't be watching this because I'm supposed to be in bed. My dad's like, get to bed. And he's like watching Jaws or something like we talked about. And it just was on. Of course, like, I don't know. Was it on videotape? I don't know.
yeah. I mean,
Who knows? No way to find out ever because I'm
No.
never going to watch that movie again.
No.
That was
Yeah,
a terrible idea for a movie. Terrible movie.
Once or twice, and that was it.
If there's like a couple people I can beat up in the world because I don't want to hurt anybody, but I could take out that guy that made that movie, wrote that movie. I don't know. It just seems such a mean thing to do to people. Let's make a movie that's about spiders.
The people are already terrified of spiders to begin with.
Right. Let's make it worse.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure like if it wasn't for that movie, I'd probably been like friends with spiders.
What about that? I never saw it, but what about the movie Eight-Legged Freaks? Where like the spiders are actually like massive, like the size of houses. Did you ever see that? Or remember like
No.
Where's for
What
that?
the hell are you talking about? Are you sure it wasn't just like a internet YouTube show?
No, I think it was just supposed to be like a campy kind of. I don't think it's bad as like Sharknado or anything like that, but it's supposed to be along those lines. Like, it's
Was it like in a theater?
I think so. Yeah.
Wow. I bet it did very well. With a name like that, I'm sure it was great.
But those were spiders, but they were like big, so it wasn't like I found again. We watched Arachnophobia. We were kids, but I found Arachnophobia to be more terrifying than that. Even though I didn't see the
Of course,
freaks, but
because
like,
it was like real spiders.
Yeah.
Eight-legged freaks. I'm sure it was just like
just,
some dumb bull crap.
Yeah.
That's like that's not real.
poor CGI and no spiders actually the size of a house.
If I saw a real spider, like if you saw a spider the size of a house,
I would
what would you do?
kill myself probably.
I mean, we've seen videos of like spiders like from like Brazil and stuff like the
Yeah.
big ones that are found
Yeah,
in the jungle.
like in Australia.
If
and
I
stuff.
saw that, I would not. I would like not be able to move or talk and probably die from just like I would just be like, oh, I just died. Like my body would just cease to exist.
I think I'd run like as fast as I could head first into something.
But if
hard.
that one's there, then you know there's probably other ones.
Yeah, that's true.
And I'd probably run away from it and like get one of those like spider webs, like
Yeah.
run through one of the spiders
Yeah,
wrapped around
yeah.
my face.
And then you're just stuck there really slowly.
I would
eating.
rather they would. Oh, that'd be. Oh, I did find out recently when I was cleaning up my basement that there's all those like white little dots everywhere, like underneath in the corners. And I was like, what
White
the
little
hell is
dots?
that? Yeah, like these little dots, and like in the corners of my basement and like a finished basement, like in
Mhm.
like up in the windowsill where there's dead bug bodies. And then like, these white little dots, and I'm like, these suck. And I always, like, for years, I've been like, oh, what the hell is
spider
this?
sacks? Or like
No, I found out what it was. I looked it up. It's spider poop. Yeah, and like
how
They're,
big
like,
are we
dried.
talking? How big are we talking?
like little specks, like little dots, but they're pretty big.
Like right there.
No. That's from the ceiling.
Oh, okay.
No, like they're dry. Like, you touch them and it's like paint almost. And then I looked it up and like did some research and was like, what the hell are these things? And like read it, and then I eventually found like a scientist who was like, it's spider poop. Because it's right where the spiders live. They eat other bugs.
Yeah.
So I'm like, great, eat other bugs. Perfect.
Yeah, right.
But then you're
pooping all
pooping.
over
Now,
you,
first off,
yeah.
I hate you, and now you're pooping on my floor, and
I
like on my
terrified
stuff,
you, but now you're crapping on my
and my
belongings.
windowsills.
Jeez.
Yeah, just check it. I'm sure you'll find some
Yeah, now I'm afraid to. Yeah.
in corners and stuff, like
Oh.
hard floors,
Man.
like where the spiders might congregate. I'm sorry to ruin your day. Anyway, we're here to ruin everybody else's day by having a nice little story that Jordan's going to present to us. This episode is going to be a two-parter, it seems, because it's pretty long. We actually recorded this episode once.
We already tried this
and
once before.
Something happened. We lost the recording. Something got messed up with the camera, and it just was unusable footage, so we had to cut it. And now I'm talking my hands, hitting stuff again. So now we're back to do it again, redo it. And the best part is we did this like months ago.
Yeah.
Don't remember a single thing about the story.
I don't either.
Yeah.
So
Great. We're on this ride together.
This mystery together.
So let's giddy up. Jordan, take us on a ride, on a journey.
So this, I recall correctly, the reason why I first did this in the first place was after or during you were doing that King Alaric episode.
King Alaric, yes.
You'd brought up a famous author who supposedly went to the site of where he might have been buried, King Alaric. Alexander Dumas.
Nope.
Alexander Dumas.
Nope.
You ever seen, please tell me you've seen this movie, man. Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah.
Okay.
Andy Dufresne.
Yeah.
Is that him? Is that guy?
Yeah, it's him. Andy Dufresne, yep.
Played by Alexander Dumas?
Yeah. There's a scene in the movie where Andy's like trying to get the library together in the prison, and his like prison buddies are helping him out. I guess they're cataloging the books. One of the guys is like, Alexander Dumas, and he starts laughing to himself, and they're like, oh, it's Alexander Dumas, and they all make fun of him. Anyways, but I remember.
So wait, who's that guy?
Well,
is this the Three Musketeers guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Still haven't read it. Still don't care.
Yeah. I remember like hearing about the three Musketeers and then seeing his name, and like I was young and like last name's dumb.
We're all like in the back of the library in third grade, like, look at this, dummies. Look at this. We're looking up bad words and we're circling. You're looking at National Geographic books and stuff. Yeah. Wait. What else did that guy write?
The Three Musketeers.
Did he just ride that coattails of death?
I knew he did 3 of those books.
3 of them. Sure.
Yeah, I'll do it with like the same characters. Oh shoot, I know he did other stuff, man. But he did. So he wrote Three Musketeers. One of those books was made into a movie starring Leonardo DiCaprio.
Who?
Leo.
Yeah, no. Who?
DiCaprio.
What was the book? Who wrote it? Alexander Dumas.
Alexander Dumas, but it was made into a movie. I'm sure it was made in a movie several different times, but because they did a Three Musketeers movie, but this one was specifically Leonardo DiCaprio. He played two people.
Like I'm already on board.
2 people in this movie.
Yeah, he can play anything.
He won a there's an award for worst. They give like, I think it's called like the Golden Razzies or Golden Raspberries.
Razzies or something.
Something like Razzies, yeah.
The Rotten Tomatoes, like, is that those people?
I don't know if it's them, but like they give out the awards for like worst performances of the year, and he got one of those
for this movie. And this movie, and I mean Leonardo DiCaprio is.
I think this came out the same year as.
He's great.
As Titanic.
He's great in everything.
Yeah, he's great.
Okay.
Yeah, came out the same year as Titanic.
Okay. Well, what a young boy.
This week we asked the question: who was the man in the Iron Mask? And that was the movie Man in the Iron Mask.
Oh yeah. Okay. So all right.
Remember, like, I don't know if you've ever seen it, but the Musketeers are in it.
They are?
Yeah.
I've never seen the movie. Couldn't care less. Never read the book. Couldn't care less. I looked at pictures of Leo in that movie. That's all I cared about. But they're in this movie?
Yeah.
They're in the story.
In the story, yeah.
Why wouldn't you tell me that the first time? I think I remembered that. Did you tell me that the first time?
Probably not.
Yeah. You just told me about Leo. Maybe I just
No,
shut
I
down.
did. I did. I think it was later on, the first time we did this, that I mentioned this. But anyways.
Yeah.
So you wrote
it's not
a
like
book
I'm going to go out and read the
called
book.
Man in the Iron Mask.
Man in the Iron Mask. Now
Yes.
Was this based on a true story?
Yes, there was a man
and that's where we're going.
who wore a mask, but nothing is known about this man, like what he looked like, where he was born, how he died, or even his name.
Okay.
Or why he was even in prison in the first place.
Okay. I'm sure there's lots of people that don't know why they're in prison.
Yeah, sure. Yes.
Even today. I'm
Yes,
just saying,
even,
like, in general.
Even today, but like, no one knows why this particular person was in prison.
And still to this historical record, there was no way to, like, there was no record saying why or when or how or, like, not when, obviously, but why.
We know the when, we don't know the why.
There was no records
really.
of, like, who was in jail. It's just like a blank slate.
Pretty much.
Okay.
We know he's traveled to multiple prisons, which we'll go over in like a couple seconds here, but we don't know exactly who this person was. We just know that he died at some point. There's a date for it. I'm going to go over. This is what we do know about the Man in the Iron Mask. He as a prisoner was incarcerated in 4 different prisons over 30 years. He was first imprisoned in Pignerol, fortress in northern Italy, At the time was under French rule, sometime before 1681, possibly 1669.
Is this
There's
still
different accounts. So I'm gonna go with 1681. He became a prisoner here.
And this is still under French control? Or is it Italian now?
That's Italian now, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. During this time, France, under King Louis XIV, they expanded their borders, took over parts of other different countries. They were like a world power at this time.
Is that what they call like an empire?
I don't think it would have been an empire. Napoleon made an empire later, but I don't think it would have been an empire.
What's the reason for calling something an empire? Because they just want to, their entire purpose is like expansion?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
I would imagine there has to be some sort of like breadth to it. That's the right word. Like how much they actually did take to make their own. I have no idea if there's.
Could you be an empire and not be very successful? Like, we're an empire. Declare yourself an empire. Which, do they do that? Is that one of those things where they declare later, like, oh, this is actually an empire? Or is it like, we're an empire now, and we're going to expand. But what if they just don't expand? Do they still consider an empire? And the next guy comes and he's like, we're not an empire anymore.
Napoleon called himself an emperor, and a lot of the Roman emperors were called emperors.
But were they?
Some of them didn't really do anything. Some they actually made it worse, lost, like the borders became smaller because they weren't conquering enough, maybe.
Could I call myself an emperor?
No. I mean, you could.
That's probably good enough, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Emperor.
I'm already a doctor. Why don't I throw on another thing?
Doctor and emperor.
Yeah. Yeah.
The second place he was in prison was Exiles Fort. This is another fortress in northern Italy that France had control of. It was from 1681 1687 he was there. Then he was in prison on St. Margaret's Island, 1687, 1698. St. Margaret's Island is off the coast of Cannes, like where Cannes Film Festival is.
Cannes?
Cannes.
Is it?
Cannes. But
That's Cannes.
The French don't pronounce like the last letters in a lot of things, so I think it's like Con or Can.
It took French for 2 years.
Mm.
Can't remember a single thing.
Take anything else other than French?
I took Spanish for 4 years in high school. I only passed one of them.
Did you have to do like beginner Spanish?
I did it twice,
Okay.
and then I passed it my second time taking it, and I failed Spanish 2 twice.
Did you have to take something else instead of that then?
No.
You got the.
No, they were like, just get the hell out of here. We're not going to let you keep on doing this.
What was your Spanish name that they gave you? Because they do that. When I went to Spanish, they're like, "You're Jorge."
Oh, they like do like a real one?
Yeah.
I think it's like Cristobal. But I think that's maybe more Spain. I don't.
Spanish.
Again, I have no idea what they're talking about. I'm just like sitting there like, okay. And, like the gusto, like the conjugate. It's just, I know.
The gusto.
I know, like, I know it's probably way easier to understand. I just can't understand languages. I'm bad at languages. But I'm bad at a lot of things. Really,
Well, yeah,
we understand that.
yeah.
But like, no offense to anybody who's a Spanish speaker, I can't do it. I don't know how you people do it. Languages go like right over my head. I'm surprised I can speak English partly. And we know I can't say lots of words.
Yeah.
So, like, words. I can't say
good
things.
with word.
Yeah. All right.
The last place he was in prison is at the infamous Bastille in Paris.
Okay. Bastille was like, that's the big one.
Yeah.
And is that where King Louis was put? Wasn't like what was the big deal with the Bastille?
The Bastille, it was stormed during the French Revolution.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. That was a little bit sometime after this, because this is during the time of Louis XIV. That's Louis XVI.
Okay.
Not too far after this, but yeah. So the last place he was at. This is the last place he was at the Bastille, where he eventually died on November 19th, 1703. So you have a date of his death.
Do we know that
He was buried there the next day on the 20th.
Do we know this is the same person?
Yeah.
Do they have record that they don't know? They don't have any record of why he was in jail.
No. Then this was. We'll go over this a little bit. There's a guy who was with him the whole time.
Okay.
There's a guy who was in charge of a lot of these prisons, was a jailer, then became a governor at one of these prisons. The man in the iron mask is with him the whole time.
With
the guy that goes from the man in the iron mask goes from prison to prison to prison. He goes to 4 different prisons.
And this guy goes with him.
Yeah.
And he's just like personal jailer.
Pretty much, yeah. And he becomes like a governor at one of these places and takes him with him to the Bastille.
Okay.
Actually. So he dies November 20th, 1703. So he's buried the next day, November 20th, 1703. They bury him with the name Marchioli or Marchiali.
Marchioli.
Yeah. That's all it says on his gravestone.
Marchioli, buried 1703. So when was he imprisoned?
He was in prison in Bastille, September 18th, 1698. So he was in prison, 4 different prisons for over 30 years.
I mean, what was his first imprisonment date?
First imprisonment date, either sometime before 1681 or possibly 1669.
So he's, okay, so possibly.
Yeah, possibly started in 1669, but there's a little like confusion over when exactly. But a lot of people are saying at least by 1681, at the latest, he's in this first prison.
Okay.
Yep.
So 1681 to something like 1681 to 1703.
Yep. So like 30 some odd years he's in prison. No one knows who this is.
Wait, that's like 20 something. If you're doing 81.
Well, 69.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're saying 69 to 03.
Yeah,
okay.
Sorry. So again, he's wearing a mask, an iron mask, apparently. This isn't like a common thing.
No other people wearing iron masks?
No. Why would they need to conceal his identity?
So an iron mask probably sucks. I mean, regular masks kind of suck to wear.
Yeah, you feel like you get like, he's wearing this thing for 30 years possibly. Like,
is it pushing his nose like, or is it like, was it?
Apparently he had like, according to some reports, he had like a thing that could be opened up so he can eat food. But he had to keep it on at all times because no one else in these prisons could know who he was.
So never took it off?
Never took it off. So
was it like locked on?
Yeah. So you think in time, if it's like a metal mask over your whole head, there'd be some kind of like
sore,
like you get diseases from that. Like,
well, it's metal. It's probably cold. Yeah. I don't know. I just give him a little wet wipe to like clean it off in there. Like, I don't know.
Wet wipe back then.
I don't know. I mean,
open up your mouth hole. We'll just fling some water up in your mask somehow or around your eyes, Do
you think they never let him take it off? Like,
apparently he was not allowed to take it off.
Is this a time whenever they like didn't let people shower? Like, did the prisoners get showers or anything? Just dump a bucket of water on them, or like? Apparently,
I feel like most weren't allowed to.
Yeah, it just wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe, and we'll go into this. Some of these people some of these prisons he was in were for nobility, people that kind of did something wrong to the crown or the country. So maybe these noblemen were allowed to do stuff like that.
Take off the mask or?
No. They weren't wearing masks. He's the only one who wore a mask, apparently. But maybe they were allowed to like bathe at some point.
Gotcha. It's kind of like cushy prison.
Yeah.
Okay.
But why would he have a mask on? This is not a common practice.
Yeah, I guess if we drill down to what they actually were talking about, what's the point of having a mask on?
Right. Why are they concealing his identity? During this time, Louis XIV is the king. He calls himself the Sun King. The name he gave himself.
Sun King?
The Sun King. Not like, son of a man but like the sun, like
S-O-N King?
Yeah.
It's S-U-N.
S-U-N, yeah.
The Sun King.
Yeah.
So why would you call yourself the God, or the Sun King? Not the God King, but the Sun King.
Well, I mean, there were people I think that probably did call him.
That's what I mean. I think God King was in 300.
Yeah.
But why would you call yourself the Sun King?
So he thought that
you just like really get really tan. I feel like someone like on TikTok is called the Sun King. He's just tanning all the time.
Yeah. So he thought that he was kind of the center of.
From the center type of thing.
Yeah.
Wait, did they believe in that yet? By
this time, because the Enlightenment happened.
Yeah, this would have been after that.
Yeah. So this
probably.
Yeah. So he saw himself as the center of France, and he had this magnificent control over Europe. Like influence over Europe as a whole.
Was it like one of those guys? Was he in this time? Was it more of the, you see Palace of Versailles? When was that built?
Versailles would have been before this. No,
were they wearing like the white?
Yeah, they were doing the powder wigs. I don't know. They started doing. I don't know if right now they're in white paint, but eventually started doing that. Yeah,
that just seems like a cool time. I'd love to be walking around like those weirdos.
So he's also an absolute monarchy. So there's no checks or balances for this guy. No other like government bodies keeping him in check. So you gotta imagine he's kind of have some kind of ego on him. Perhaps.
Yeah. Of course.
The reason I'm bringing this up is because you could possibly go into one of the theories of who this man would have been that's in the Iron Mask in prison.
So he thinks the world kind of revolves around him right now?
Yes.
Louis XIV.
Louis XIV, yeah.
Okay.
One of the theories that gets thrown out there.
So we jumping into the theories, or the story is this guy had a mask on for this amount of time?
Yeah. We'll go into like, I'm bringing up a few theories now because these are kind of considered, these were actually brought about at the time or shortly thereafter. They're kind of more a little crazy, but this is kind of where the Man in the Iron Mask legend starts.
Okay.
Because it's known at the time that there was a man who was in prison who had an iron mask on.
But they're not sure why.
Not sure why.
There's records of it, but could have been multiple people with iron masks
Could
on.
have been, but apparently that wasn't like a common practice.
But because this one jailer was trailing him, he was like kind of like the story kind of follows that.
Yeah. So we know there was a man in the iron mask for sure. But there's a philosopher and historian that became very popular during the Age of Enlightenment in France, Voltaire. And he was the first person to mention, someone of note, mention that there was a man in the iron mask.
I feel like Voltaire is one of those names that come up like, well, I read Voltaire, or like kind of like that, like the
He's French.
Like it's like
a French man of thought.
You know, I think it comes from like I think like an episode of like Friends or something when there's like this really high learned guy and is like
Ross.
No, it's like a psychologist. Whenever like I don't know, remember in the 90s, like the psychologist was like the coolest job to have, and then everybody wanted to be a psychologist. Yeah, because there's like an episode, like it was always like you understand
Frasier,
the mind.
maybe?
Yeah, like that type of thing.
Yeah.
Where like, but then you realize like, oh, those people don't make any damn money, so all these people became psychologists and stuff. And they're like, oh wait, we don't make any money in mental health.
Yeah.
And then, maybe a psychiatrist. You have to go to med school.
Right. Yeah.
So a lot of people are like, I'm just going to be a psychologist and not making any money, but be be useful. Like,
sure. Yeah.
Important.
Yeah,
Mental health is important, but they're not really valued.
But is that? I mean, maybe that's wrong. When there's a rise and people like
too many
starting to accept.
I think there is now. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So maybe people are like, oh, maybe we should try this out.
Yeah. But it still goes back to Voltaire. Like, what did this jackass do? Like, I don't. So when I hear the name Voltaire, it's always in this. It's pretentious
kind of
like thing. College. I remember like in college, someone was like Voltaire talked about Voltaire, and I was like, oh man, you suck. Like just not even knowing who that.
Immediately, just like this guy sucks.
This girl sucks. And it was definitely a guy just saying Voltaire said Voltaire, and I'm like. Come on, dude.
Start speaking French.
Come on, boy. I'd be friends with you, but come on.
So Voltaire, who's a man of the Enlightenment, man of science, philosophy, he's a historian as well. He writes one of his works called The Age of Louis XIV. So he's chronicling Louis XIV's reign. This is 1751.
You were going to say 19.
I do, because it's every other time.
I do it all the time.
All right, so he mentions the man in the iron mask a little bit in this big long history of Louis XIV. So this is after the man in the iron mask has already passed, but he's considered contemporary for the most part.
Okay, contemporary in at this point in time.
Not for
talking
us,
about
but
him.
like in that time.
When
frame.
Voltaire is talking about it.
Yes. So he states in this book about Louis XIV, on the journey to the prison at St. Margaret's Island, which is where the man in the iron mask was.
Third prison.
Yep. The man was of noble form, who wore a mask with a chin piece, of which had steel springs to enable him to eat while still wearing it. His guards had orders to kill him if he uncovered his face. This is the first time the man in the iron mask is mentioned.
Do you think it was more of what's that called? Whenever it's like you write something, but it's really means something else. What the hell's that called?
Metaphor or analogy?
Metaphor. You got
analogy, one of those.
Yeah, it's a metaphor I was looking for.
Good.
I don't know if it's right.
I don't know if that's. Yeah.
I don't know if it's a correct usage.
I don't know if you guys can tell,
one
but
of those,
we didn't go to school for English.
I don't know if it's one of those usages for the Voltaire types, but like metaphor sounds like it could be
sure.
it. Listen,
I mean, I guess it's possible.
Tell Voltaire to call me when he wants to build a house. That's what we need. But we don't need you writing some crap. Yeah. All right, jackass. Go ahead.
Jackass. Voltaire later claims in a different book he wrote in 1771 called Questions About the Encyclopedia. This was in French, I believe, so it's hard to try and decipher some of the stuff. That the man in the Iron Mask was actually Louis XIV's older brother. That's why I bring up Louis XIV to begin with, because he had an ego, or probably had an ego if he calls himself Sun King. So possibly he wouldn't want his power challenged if his older brother would have been heir to the throne. The Voltaire is saying that this man in the Iron Mask was locked up possibly by his brother. And this is actually Louis XIV's older brother.
Kind of big baby would you have to be to get beat up by your younger brother and put I mean, isn't that the other way around?
Yeah.
I mean,
but
maybe.
But why? I mean,
what made his bigger brother such a little?
Go ahead, punk.
Yeah, thank you.
I don't know.
I mean, it's like, and also going back to let's take a little reversal.
Okay.
Metaphor. Was this a metaphor common? Like this guy, it was Voltaire in a Voltaire voice. This plebeian was wearing the iron mask.
Yeah,
because he was such a piece of garbage.
Maybe.
Was it one of those?
It could be
like a way of talking down on the unclean.
Yeah, maybe.
Quoting.
Unclean.
I'm not saying
the undesirable.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, maybe. Maybe like
but there's only one.
Maybe it's supposed to reflect a bad character, like a bad someone with a bad character, or like a poor.
So we go back in time.
Imbecile.
Yeah, we get like a mysterious PALS starship time machine. We go back in time, and people are like, "Look at this iron mask." Like you're just like, "Oh, it's just a normal thing."
Yeah.
You ever think it's like one of like? There's so many mysteries that we'll probably talk about, or will talk about. We talked about, or will talk about, that are just like people just use it as like slang, and we're just like, "Oh, I wonder what this meant."
Maybe. I mean, yeah. I'm not saying that's in this case, but I'm sure.
Yeah,
there's been plenty of slang. There's people like, "Wait, what?"
It's silly that there's only one instance of that. I'm sure it's not. I'm sure that's not what this is, but just
right.
The iron mask, and he's like he's referencing his eating with it, right?
Yeah, he can only like uncover like this piece.
Okay,
he's allowed to eat.
But then going to the next thing, it could be King Louis'
older brother, who should be king,
who got punked by the little boy.
Yeah,
King Louis, little boy.
No, I mean,
did he do anything of like militarily?
Yeah. That's why. I mean, he kind of gave himself the Sun King title because he was constantly expanding the borders during this time and like increasing.
As like he was actually going out and fighting?
No, of course not.
Exactly.
No,
he probably was a punk.
Yeah. But he was also big in the arts. He's a patron of the arts and
okay. Well, yeah, Voltaire and all.
Here's the thing, though.
Voltaire locking up your brother, you know.
Voltaire himself actually spent time in the Bastille as a prisoner twice. Because
of course he did. He was like, "Well, I've been in the Bastille twice."
He was very vocal about the monarchy. And the family of King Louis XIV.
So you may have had a bone to pick up getting this like decided or deciphered.
That's what a lot of people are saying. Like, oh, maybe he just kind of had out for Louis XIV, and they spent time in the Bastille twice. He claimed to have met workers at these prisons who had first-hand accounts of the man in the Iron Mask. Voltaire got some of the man's history correct, but there are a few inaccuracies. One was when he was there. And when Voltaire was there during his time, there's no way those workers would have still been alive because
when was Voltaire there?
Voltaire would have been there.
Do you think when he walked in the room, she's like, "Voltaire is here," and like ripped stuff in half? The patriarchy.
Patriarchy's here. So. Man in the Iron Mask died 1703. Okay. Voltaire is there several decades later.
Oh, come on.
So the problem is with he says he has these first-hand accounts by people that worked at the prison and saw the Man in the Iron Mask, but those guys would have been long gone at this point.
Yeah, because I mean, it's 1700. You're probably living like 36.
Yeah. The people he claimed to have talked to wouldn't have been around during the Man in the Iron Mask imprisonment. There's like the timing's off.
Okay.
Right.
So the records are not in his favor.
All right. It's like, all right, dude. You're like people said, maybe you have a bone to pick with
Being real Voltaire about it.
Second thing that's kind of inaccuracies with some of his claims here, Voltaire. Voltaire had been vocal in the past, publicly criticizing Louis' nephew. We mentioned a little bit there earlier, which is why he was put in prison. So again, maybe
He was making fun of someone. He got put in prison.
Yeah, pretty much.
He was like making TikTok videos about the king's nephew, and he's like, boom.
Yeah, but also Voltaire is a man of the Enlightenment, a man of like science. Even though like Louis himself pushed for the arts, he was a very staunch religious man.
Louis was.
Yeah, so he wasn't very religiously tolerant, which Voltaire didn't like.
Okay.
Because again, as a man of the Enlightenment, he's like, we need to move past, the church. Not necessarily anything bad against Christianity, but like we need to start thinking more of like science and philosophical thought and stuff like that. So again, like you're saying, might have a bone pick with him.
He's Voltaireing it up out there.
Voltaireing it up. So then we're going to go on to Alexander Dumas, who kind of takes what Voltaire said a step further. Like I said, he wrote a couple books, one of which, within the Three Musketeers, he writes that the man is actually the twin brother of King Louis XIV, named Philippe.
Philippe?
Which I think was his name in...
Philippe the 14th.
Which is his name in Man in the Iron Mask movie.
Oh, wait, so...
Played by Leo. But Leo played both of them, so...
He played King Leo and Philippe?
Yeah. The twin brother.
Was it Louis the 14th was like his last name, 14th? Wait, is it one of those things where they pick their name so his name really wasn't Louis?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, pick the name.
You pick Louis. What a stupid thing to pick.
I mean, there's been 13 before, so it might be something there.
Oh, okay. So all those Louis out there, I'm sorry.
He claims that even though the Three Musketeers, the Musketeers are a real thing, but I don't think the Three Musketeers themselves, like whatever their names were, like
Huey, Dewey, and Louie?
Yeah, that's it.
I think we've done that joke before, but it might have been in the recording.
It was, yeah. This is where you're like, is that the
a
candy bar?
Oh, Three Musketeers, yeah. Can't eat that. There's dairy in that.
Was it like D'Artagnan and all those guys?
That sounds like a
but there ended up
sci-fi
actually
thing.
being like 4.
That sounds like Three Musketeers 2049 or something.
So I don't think those guys are actually real, but the Musketeers were real.
Do you think they'll do like a, like, there's in the year of our Lord 2024, which this is posting on. Do you think?
Wait a second. Oh yeah.
We're like in. Yeah, I thought there's supposed to be flying cars and crap right now. This is I hate.
Oh yeah.
This is stupid science.
Back to the Future. Like,
yeah. Marty Fly can suck it. Anyway.
Marty Fly can suck it.
Do you think like there's ever going to be a, prestige TV thing with the Three Musketeers? Like,
what do you mean, like prestige?
Like Lord of the Rings or King of Thrones?
Game of Thrones?
King of Thrones? Game of Thrones? Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
King of Thieves. King of Thrones. Game of Thrones, like level Three Musketeers, like
no
prestige thing on HBO. Like, we're gonna go and really bring out.
I think they try to do like Three Musketeer movies like on and off for a while now. There was one in the 90s that was really good. Tim Curry was in it.
Who?
Tim Curry. Like guy
hell's
that played
that?
It.
What's It?
Oh man.
Wait, what? Wait.
You ever see like the miniseries It? Like the
No.
old Tim Curry. He was.
You keep saying the name. It's not gonna mean anything. Let's like say Alexander Dumas. It don't mean anything. Voltaire.
All right. Anyways, they
wait.
tried
Tim Curry, was he in Clue?
Yes.
Yeah, I know that guy. That guy's amazing. Yeah,
he's great.
Yeah. So he was in Three Musketeers.
Yeah, like one in the 90s.
Yeah,
like Kiefer Sutherland. Charlie Sheen was in it.
Wow. Hot Shots.
And then
Hot Shots, amazing movies. Part 2.
Part 2.
Wait,
there's French for you.
It's the only French I know.
Yeah.
Deux. Does that mean 2?
Does that mean 2?
Not 3, 2.
Yeah,
okay.
2.
Yeah, 2. Okay. That's where they probably got it.
Yeah.
So wait.
Alexander Dumas is further.
So they're not going to make a new series of the Three Musketeers on HBO.
I mean, they could, man. I don't know, man. It could, but I don't think it'd be
like MCU level, like
Voltaire shows up.
Yeah, but like from the future. He could probably do some cool stuff. They should hire us to write it. Be terrible.
So the third book that Alexander Dumas did main focus was about the Man in the Iron Mask.
Okay.
And he says that the reason why the Man in the Iron Mask was in prison in the first place was because he was the twin brother of Louis XIII.
Is there any possible evidence of this?
No. But these are very famous authors writing this stuff.
Okay.
People kind of knew, I imagine some people didn't know about the Man in the Iron Mask, but like these are famous people who are kind of pushing this story further in this legend or myth of the Man in the Iron Mask. Kind of riling up the public.
But still, this is all stuff from Voltaire to Dumas.
Yes.
So it's not like we have any concrete.
No, these are all kind of like far-fetched things. But I think it's interesting, though, because these are famous people claiming at the time that the Man in the Iron Mask was, in fact, a relative of Louis XIV.
Possibly the rightful heir to the throne.
Yes, yeah. Again, Alexander Dumas is probably just trying to push a book.
Right.
Like, what better twist than, it's almost like a M. Night Shyamalan twist. By the way, it's really his twin brother.
I kind of like some of his movies.
Yeah. There's good ones. There's some
I like
bad
the
ones.
weird one that likes like The Happening. I thought it was all right.
Is that the one where like
the trees are killing
plants
people?
Are killing people?
Yeah, because I like those guys like fall down and like
the whole movie's great up until like that. And it's like, what?
Oh yeah, like the thing like, oh, it's the trees.
Yeah,
oh,
it's a tree.
I would just cut you down.
There's some good ones, man.
But it's like the people like lay down in front of the lawnmowers.
Yeah, it's nuts. Lady in the Water was kind of weird.
I never saw that one. Seemed kind of up its own butt.
Yeah.
Of its own toots. But I want to say, like, did Louis XIV have such an effect on Europe's thing that, like, even Dumas, so many years later, was writing about him being the enemy?
Yeah. Because
when was the revolution?
Well, at this point, the French Revolution would already happen. By the time Alexander Dumas,
that's what I mean. But like,
so at this point, like, I think the people
was this
people's view of Louis XIV and like a monarchy changed.
Was he like the one that would like cause a lot of the problems, and the two after him sucked?
Yeah,
you said 16th was the one who got.
Yeah, so he was kind of like the apex of like what the French crown represented. Like what like its power it got and like the control it had.
Was he let them eat cake guy?
No, that was Louis XVI.
Okay.
That was Marie Antoinette.
Who's that?
Louis XVI's wife.
Was she the one that like 50 whacks a wet noodle? Like murdered a bunch of people?
Like a pool noodle?
Like murdered a bunch of people.
Marie Antoinette?
With a hatchet.
No, that's I know what you're talking about.
Was that her?
No.
So what happened to her?
Marie Antoinette?
Yeah.
She got beheaded.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
That would be
she deserved it.
Oh.
Well, I don't. Okay, I might say she deserved it, but so by the time Louis XIV was around, people were kind of like, "All right, this is like, they have this lavish lifestyle. What are they actually doing? The power is unchecked." By the time Louis XVI came around, people were like, we've had enough. We're constantly at war. Country's going bankrupt. Providing the crown for all these like frivolities, a frivolous lifestyle. Frivolities?
Oh, no. You really got to say.
Diet loaf?
Diet loaf, yeah.
Diet loaf.
Yeah, diet loaf pass.
So this, as Alexander Dumas is writing this is like, once the French Revolution already happened, like the view of the monarchy is very, very different. Okay. Again, this could be why you make Louis XIV the villain.
He was just a general villain at this time in history. Like right now,
I think so. Yeah,
we always choose Hitler as the common villain.
Not that bad, but like,
I mean, we don't know. Yeah. You know, Hitler was a monster.
Yeah.
But like, Hitler's an easy, like the Nazis and Hitler are like an easy enemy. Yeah, because either zombies, Nazis, or like.
But a lot of art did flourish under Louis XIV because, like I said, he was a patron of the arts. Like he
allowed it to happen.
Well, not necessarily allowed it, but like pushed it, like music and
funded it, supported it.
Sure, yeah. But as religious tolerance or intolerance was an issue, and the fact that he just like an absolute monarchy was an issue. Hindsight is kind of a divisive kind of person, I guess.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like trying to set up like this guy was a monster.
Yeah,
and he's possible that he could have done something like this.
Well, so here's the thing. Alexander Dumas said that like his their dad, Louis XIII, put them in Philip, who's supposedly the man in the Iron Mask, in prison. Philippe, sorry, because he didn't want to cause a war for succession. So he's like, I'm going to take one of them, put him in prison. How he decided that, which one, I have no idea. Because wars for succession were obviously a thing all throughout history.
Louis XIII was technically the one who probably set this whole thing up. If what
Alexander Dumas says is the case, yes.
Yeah.
Their father was like, one of them has to go in prison, put this one in prison.
Yeah.
The other one gets the rule.
Or the one most annoying at the time.
Prince and the Pauper? Wait, Prince and the Pauper? Did you ever watch that? It was like a Mickey Mouse thing?
No,
I don't know why I ask you these questions, man. I'm still
Prince
surprised.
And the Pauper?
I'm still surprised you've seen Shawshank Redemption.
I mean, that was like
it's always on, so I guess it's hard to miss.
But I think it's during a time whenever like I think I know what happened. It was during a time when I had summer. Like it was a summer, like it was probably like the summer it came out, or summer it was like on TV, like on TBS or something.
Talking about Shawshank?
Yeah, no, you know what? We had it on video cassette for some reason. I remember seeing it,
okay.
And I think it was just one of those things where like my dad might have been watching. I just had nothing else to do because I was like in 8th grade.
Yeah,
like watch
that's
this.
one of those movies I can watch when it's even if it's already like halfway through. I'll just start watching it.
Is that the one with Tom Hanks and the Magic Guy?
Is that the one with Tom Hanks?
What one was that?
The Magic Guy?
Yeah, like one of the guys was magic. Tom Hanks was like a prison guard.
Shawshank Redemption? Oh no, Green Mile.
What's the difference?
Shawshank is about a...
No, I don't know Shawshank, but like, what the hell was the Green Mile about? I never saw that one.
Green Mile is with...
Why am I...
Yeah, Tom Hanks.
Why am I doing that?
He's a prison guard. And then Michael Clark Duncan.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, he was awesome. Put in prison, yeah.
Every role he's ever been in has been amazing.
Yeah. He like I think he's dead in real life.
Oh, man.
And he died in the movie, which is really sad. But yeah, he had like the power to heal people.
Is that what it was?
Yeah. He was able to like, I remember Tom Hanks had like a kidney stone.
Never mind.
And he was able to like suck the...
A kidney stone?
But they're both...
I had a kidney stone.
Yeah, they're both based on books by Stephen King.
Oh, God.
Which is weird because they're like kind of like not...
Wait. Shawshank also?
Yeah, they're not like, you know...
Oh my God.
Happy movies, but they're not like horror movies like a lot of his other stuff. Isn't that weird?
Do you think that guy ever showed up on the beach with Andy Dufresne?
The Michael Clark Duncan character?
No.
Morgan Freeman?
Yeah, but like, I'm saying like, I know I'm jumping between movies here, but like, that's what it ends, right?
Yeah.
Morgan Freeman probably never showed up. Or no, he did.
He did.
He found the money under the...
Yeah.
That's a good movie.
Yeah, under the tree. Yeah,
we should watch it.
Let's watch it right now. We just got that podcast off.
Wait, what were we talking That poster was a good idea.
Yeah.
Those little stones. That was a Stephen King book?
Yeah.
Man, he's written a lot of books.
He pumps them out, man. Like Maximum Overdrive. Did you ever seen that movie?
No. Is that the trucks one?
Yeah.
What the hell is going on in his mind?
I don't know, dude.
Remember one of the episodes we talk about Yetis writing books?
Yeah.
It's probably what it is.
Sure.
He probably has some Yetis wrapped up.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Back to Louis.
So again, I brought this up because this doesn't seem possible that he was a relative. I mean, maybe, I don't know. No one knows who he is. But I just wanted to I bring this up because it was part of the culture at the time. Like people were writing about this, famous people were writing about it. It wasn't, but I want to make a point of this. It wasn't an actual man.
Okay.
Like there was an actual man in prison.
There's all the records point to this actually was a thing.
Yes.
That's what we're trying to establish.
Yes. Thank you. But most agreed in actually wear an iron mask.
Most of what?
Agree, like most historians and like later writers were like, there's no way he actually wore an iron mask. Like,
okay.
That wasn't like I said earlier, that's not a common, that was never a thing done.
It could have been a metaphor.
Yeah, maybe.
Or an allegory.
Perhaps, yeah. But they most think that it might have been like some kind of velvet mask.
Okay.
Or some other kind of mask, some other like material, but not like iron because
that would suck.
I think the health.
Well, they really didn't know back
implications,
then.
But like
velvet would be grosser.
For 30 years though, he supposedly wore this iron mask. Wouldn't he like die, get infections from that and stuff?
Yeah, but like, but steel, if it's actually iron, it probably wouldn't hold as much bacteria as like velvet would.
Yeah, but what if it like wouldn't it stick to his face in like really cold weather?
Oh yeah, his face would fuse to it. Yeah, it'd be hell. But so would the velvet, and it'd be hold bacteria and stuff a lot more.
But historically there's no real instances of people wearing an iron mask.
Right.
So, but there was a man who no one knows who he was. He wore some sort of mask.
It was like a long lost, like, peoples. I don't know. They had, like, but it was a stone people.
Rah, stone people.
Rah.
Like from King of Thrones.
Is that from there?
Game of Thrones. There was like some
Oh,
stone.
yeah. It was that one guy got it. The
Yes.
weird guy that was like obsessed with the girl.
Yes. Yeah.
That guy sucked. I hate that person. He was just he was like the biggest. He's just that punk. I'm going to follow her around. Some old dude following this young girl around.
He was,
Creepy.
Yeah.
Creepo. Creepy
There's a word
stone
for
face.
that. Yeah.
And unlike Game of Thrones, we're going to end on a high note. We're going to end this episode right here. And we're going to say...
that was nice.
We're going to come back next time with the rest of the story because it is a long story.
Yeah.
I think the first recording of it was like over 2 hours or 2 hours. Yeah. So we're gonna end it right now on a high note where we're at in the story of the man in iron mask. And I want to say thank you to Jordan for being here.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you to everybody who's listening or watching, however you're getting this.
Thank you for your patience if you stuck around the whole time because we jumped around a lot.
Yeah, the story is kind of crazy.
We also went on tangents here and there. So
that's a problem in everything we do.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Right.
But I want to say thank you. And go ahead, if you want to help us out, go ahead and hit that subscribe button on YouTube or follow us on your podcast platform of choice. You can go to any of our social media things we got going on, YouTube and Instagram and Facebook at Mysterious Pals and Twitter at mysterious_pals.
No.
And if you have any ideas for shows, go ahead and send us an email or leave us a comment on the video or anything like that. Email is at mysteriousPals@gmail.com and mysteriousPals.com is the website. It takes the links to everything. So just go there. It'll link you to everything, email, all that stuff. And just like any Jordan's resources are all in the show notes. We want to thank Bethlehem for their intro and outro music. Our theme music we have. And you can find a link for them in the show notes and on our website, on our social media stuff. It's all linked, all connected. The weird how the internet does that to everybody. But Jordan, thank you for being here again.
Thank you, Chris.
And I'm ready for next week, the next exciting Edge of Your Seat episode of The Man in the Iron Mask, Part 2.
Part 2.
With Charlie Sheen. He's a special guest this week. Next week.
You imagine that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that'd be kind of creepy.
He's all drugged out.
And whatever. Cool. I mean,
what's
he doing? Is he alive still? I have no idea.
Oh.
I figured he is.
Is he alive?
That show almost sucked. I don't know why people were so worried about that show.
Which? Oh, 2.5 Men.
Yeah, that was a terrible show. It
was bad.
Nothing good ever about that show. I don't know why people watched it.
No, it was multiple seasons.
Yeah. It was a lot of seasons. And then they were all upset when he left. Or didn't leave. He got in trouble.
Though the one female actress in that.
There was like 40.
Well, no, the one
every
that was
episode.
The one that was like obsessed with him for a long time. She's doing some great stuff.
I have no clue.
Right.
What's she doing?
She was in.
You want to plug something for her right now? You gonna plug some stuff she can. We got a video. Did you bring up tape?
I can't remember her name, but she was in Last of Us.
Didn't see it yet.
Okay, and I think she's in.
I want to see it.
I
want to see it.
No, she's a really good actress. I was kind of surprised.
Okay, I want to see Last of Us on HBO.
You haven't watched it yet?
No, because I hate the second game.
Oh, that's right. You do, yeah.
I want to see it. I was going to wait. I always wait for a couple seasons first.
Yeah.
Then I watch stuff together. But that's just me. Just living a dream. But just like all of you, you can live a dream by helping us out with our dream and subscribing or following us. And thank you for being here. Thank you for seeing us, hearing us, whatever you're doing. Until next time, stay mysterious, pals. Yeah, like that. All right. Good night, everybody.